This is Justin AMZN for Tuesday, August 27th, 2019. Taking a look at how things traded today in the 5-minute. So opened up and started to run a little bit too good to be true because, I mean, we were breaking out yesterday. We needed to retest like during the day today like this, after hours yesterday. Makes sense that we came down here. I was even talking about taking out the pivots. I pointed at this one and then I moved the cursor down here. I went back and looked at the video thinking, okay, 1750, like get down there maybe, take out some more of these. We actually came all the way back down to 1747. And that was a great place to buy because it's come down there yesterday and the day before and again today. And I didn't expect it to come down that far today, but it did. So we'll come back to that in a little bit. But look at how things opened up. Ran right up into the pre-market resistance from yesterday and then rolled over. Tried to get it going again off of this channel. And then I think these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles totally tell the story because you couldn't get going above this line. It's just crazy how well this has been working. This channel that somehow was still left on the chart going back to February, this line just keeps coming, or this channel keeps coming into play. And from here, breaking down, making a new low on the day with this candle, makes sense. We retraced a little bit, came right into the 21. And I saw this, like this candle going up above these three. It's like, that really shouldn't be going that way. It should really break down. It's like, oh, that's a retest. Maybe it'll come up here, but nope. Came right into the 21, started to roll over, and that was kind of the big push for the bears. Totally broke down, stair step here, a little S curve, roll down some more. This was a bigger stair step or a more sideways, longer stair step, not necessarily bigger. Broke down again. Put a really nice hammer here. It just wasn't quite far enough. People here were buying right at 1750, which is great. 1750 is a nice round number, but you need to have some room on your stop. And, we've had this line in here for, let's see, going back to June 20th of last year. So we actually came down and touched it again, third day in a row. And so, I mean, makes sense that we bounced down here. This candle right at noon was a great place to buy. This candle, nice hammer, great place to buy. That rallied. But actually the option did not work out that well here. I'll show you what I did today buying down here and kind of how things played out. So it rallied, pushed through the 21. I was thinking, okay, we had some stair step here and stair step here. We'll probably make a little flag and then bounce. Nope, we made a little flag and then didn't bounce. And it rolled back down. It's like, okay, I'm sure I'm stopped out, lost an R. Okay, I have to get that back sometime. And instead we come back in here, do this double bottom, don't quite come back down as far as 1747. Had we, and I was kind of glancing at where the price is at. I saw at one point it was below 1750. It's like, yeah, I'm definitely stopped out of this because I was in the option. And I thought for sure the option was stop me out. So anyway, it rallies here. And I'll show you what happened on the option I was in. On this, from this candle to this candle, this moved so quickly, it gapped up in the option and ran. And I had a target. Well, I don't want to tell you the value yet. We'll look at it. But I got a really good fill on the target, which was crazy. Not at all what I expected. Anyway, ran up here, came right into this S curve, and then started to roll over there. And if you kind of take a step back from things today, just looking at even this part, this is a double bottom. It's almost like some sort of inverted head and shoulders, where this is a shoulder, this is a double head, and then this is another shoulder, and then like this is a neckline, something like that. Again, if you wait too long for the bigger pattern to show up, you're missing a lot of the trade. Like it's anticipating what's going to happen, buying here, selling here, things like that. So let's look at some calls. So this is 1750 call. Had you waited till noon to buy, you would have been buying for around 19 bucks. Too expensive. Way too expensive. It actually came down to 18 on the 1215 candle, and then came down to 1785 on that secondary retest. Didn't quite come down to 1747. Anyway, would have been great to be buying down here, but way more expensive than what we want to do with $100 risk. And so let's take a look now at the 1775 call and see how that would have worked out. All right, so 1775, same thing. It came down, and at noon, it had the value here, 740, and then came down to around 7 and then started to bounce. Well, I'll just say this wasn't the one I was trading, but it did actually take out the low a little more than I expected here, where it put in the low at 1747, and then this was a slightly higher a few minutes later, and the option just continued down for a little bit more. And so it actually didn't help to buy right at the low. It actually would have been better to wait a little bit. And that's the lesson I'll take into the next option we'll look at. Oh, and also we had some lows over here that were lower than these lows. So you got to know your risk. You got to know where the right setup is. Had you been buying on this candle, let's say you bought at 750 and your stop was at 650, totally can work if you don't move your stop. If you move your stop after this and you just held on and you didn't get out up here at 9, or if you had your target at 950, it wasn't filled. But if you move your stop above 650, you got stopped out here. You probably would have moved your stop to like 7, maybe 725. You got stopped out. And then it ultimately made it up to 950. So that's if you're going for 2R also. All right, so I was in the 1800 call just because I wanted to challenge what I was thinking. And it's been a good thing to do this month with how the market's been moving. All right, 12 o'clock hits. And the option here was straddling right around $2. I set up my trade to get in at like 2. I was filled at 197. So right in here, yeah, I think right in here, I was filled at 197. It pulled back. I thought, okay, I must be wrong. It's not really bouncing. I'm in too early. All that stuff that goes through your head. And then it started to bounce, started to work. It's like, oh, good, it's going. And I just wanted so here, let me say this also. I got it 2, and I wanted to set my stop at 150, as if it was $50 risk, that kind of stuff, instead of $100 risk. So that was the trade, 2 by 150, and had the target up at just 250 because it's been the way it's been moving down. I just wanted to catch a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of something counter trend. Just go for the same as you risk. That's what I'll do in some of these, because I'm just trying to scalp that bounce. After that bounce, I'll look for a better bounce and I'll get in, for a bigger move. Well, I left that set up. It didn't hit. I thought it was going to make that flag. As it made the flag, it came right back to $2. It's like, well, okay, I could just exit and be flat or lose slightly. It's like, okay, maybe it'll go. It just went. I was busy doing something else for like the hour. I didn't even look at it through here, except just glancing at where the price of Amazon was. Didn't even look at the option, and saw that it was way down below 1750. Thought for sure I was stopped out, and I got out of a meeting a little bit after 2, like 2:15, and I'm looking at it, and so I had set my target at 250, had my stop down here at 150. Actually, I think I had my stop at 155, thinking, okay, I'll lose with let's see, I had a favorable fill at 197. I'm like, all right, if I have a favorable stop, then maybe I'll lose an R, with the commissions too, are already included. So anyway, stop at 155. That actually didn't hit here, which was surprising to see the low at 159 and still be in it, because I've been stopped out on too many of those to count. So anyway, when it, like I said, it went from this candle to this candle with my target at 250. The fill that I got on this push, it exited at 271. And again, just seeing the high here at 291, I got a fill at 271. It blew past the 250, which was great. I didn't have anything to do with it. I just set it at 250. Now, had I set it at 3, looking for 2R wouldn't have worked. Wouldn't have worked here, wouldn't have worked here. But I thought getting an R on this is reasonable. Get a little bounce. And it's like stepping back, it's like taking a look at it. Had I been buying on a pullback like this, waiting for this to happen, waiting for a pullback like over here, I could have been in at like 175 by 125 and gotten out at 275 as it went up. And that would have been great. I didn't do that. I was definitely in too early, just looking for it to bounce at 1747. That was the setup I had. But that's where I wanted to buy. So my setup was getting in there. It wasn't necessarily looking for the ideal options price. And that's the challenge. It's like you're never going to get the exact bottom and the exact top. I won't say never. It's highly unlikely. We look at percentages, we look at probabilities of how this stuff works. You set it up and you look for whatever the pattern is you're trading, whether it's a hammer or a stair step or a triangle. You look for that pattern to play out like the direction of the trade or like you back traded or whatever it is that you are trading. And that's your setup. And so I was really confused when I looked at my broker to see that not only was I not stopped out, I had exited, or the trade had exited way above my strike. I refreshed the page a couple times. I'm like, how did I get a fill at 271? I should have been stopped out way down here because Amazon came way back down. I was really confused. And so it was a good thing because I saw green, but I was really confused with what had happened. And it's like, why is it happening like this? So I wanted to kind of do a deeper dive because had this pulled back a little further, had it come back down to 1747, I think I would have been stopped out. I didn't have anything to do with that. It just bounced there. It made a double bottom here, double bottom here. It worked out. And sometimes that's what happens in trading is you set it up, you plan it, and you got to let it play out. In this case, I did. I didn't move the stop. It's something that I'll do to a fault sometimes is not moving a stop when I should have. And in this case, not moving the stop actually really helped me to ignore it and just let things play out the way that I wanted to see them do that. The other piece of this that I've been noticing lately, and actually let me zoom, I'll go back over here because maybe you'll see it if I go forward like this. Okay. Kind of ignore the pre-market. I just want a little more time on here. You see okay, out of these, okay, bullish candle, bearish, bearish, bullish, bearish. That's these first five. You got 3 bearish, 2 bullish. Okay, let's go another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 3 more bullish, 2 more bearish, but it's gone down some more. So it looks like it's kind of evenly balanced between bullish and bearish, but it's down slightly. Okay, you go a few more and you got more bearish and you get all this. And it's like, okay, clearly bearish. And you just kind of zoom out with your eyes. And if you can turn off all your lines, any indicators, anything, and just look at the chart, moving averages, all that, just kind of step back, let your eyes zoom out and be like, okay, what color are you seeing more of? And you can do it with any color candle as long as you know what you're looking at. There's a lot more bearishness on this, obviously because it's moving down. But I mean, what my eyes are seeing is there's more red, way more red. If I just look at something like this, it's like, oh, well, there's way more red here. There's some green here. This one's a little more balanced, but I'm still down. So, okay, I'm going to go with a little more red. If you look at it like this, it's like, oh, I got way more green. This looks pretty much flat. Your eyes are doing that naturally. And so, at least this is what I've been noticing. Okay, so if I come back here like this, now I'm seeing down here, I'm seeing, okay, I've got these smaller red bodies and it's not bullish, it's not green, but it's less bearish. Then I get some bigger candles down. Okay, now down here, I've got, I've got a couple candles touching the line or almost touching the line. I've got 4 candles out of 5 that are bullish. I'm not going up yet. I'm still just going sideways. Let's add another one. Oh, it's going up. Let's add another one. That's bearish. Okay, now I'm starting to see more bullish candles. Obviously, we're on our way back up, but I mean, they're moving. They're going in that direction, whereas these slowed down and then continued. Okay, let's go a little further. Okay, more bearish. I was seeing bullish. What happened? Okay, maybe the bears aren't done yet. And you get down to something like this, it's like, okay, well, I'm still seeing kind of like this. I'm seeing alternating. You can count them up. You can see, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bears in a row. Now I had 3 bullish here, and that was pretty much the most I could do. Well, no, 4 here. So that was the most I could do today. It's those days where you're seeing those candles. It's like, well, it's definitely directionally that kind of a day. Well, this one was directionally bearish, and now it's slowed down. I'm not saying it's going to be done going bearish, but it's slowed down to the point that there's a bullish setup coming in here, And so, if you're, again, just looking at something like this, you're seeing more bearish over here, and then you start to see more bullish. And as you have a few more bears come in, it's like, well, maybe they can't push it down as far. Maybe this is a good place to start buying. And this was the ideal place to be buying over here as this started to move back up. And I like seeing this cross the 21 with force, like with momentum here. It did it here, but that was kind of exhausting. This move on high volume, it came right back down and just kind of straddled. The price kind of straddled that moving average there a little bit. So anyway, if we're looking over here now, we're starting to see some more bulls come in. Okay, more bulls. Okay, a lot more bulls. We're moving. We're going. And this was that big push higher. This was that big move. In order to catch this, you have to be looking for the subtlety of less bearish candles, a little more bulls coming in. Let those bears push back down, right back into where the bulls want to buy. And that's what was going on. And you can do it visually. I didn't say prices at all. All I'm doing is looking at the candles, and maybe it's just how I'm familiar with candles and what they're doing, what they're saying. But I'm just trying to kind of have a view where I'm looking at what the bodies of the candles are doing. And having candle bodies like this that aren't doing anything, it's like, well, that doesn't help me decide which way to go. If it's going to bounce there, if it's bottomed out, if it's just a stair step, if it's just going to continue lower. This doesn't tell me anything until a gap, until it breaks down. Even though this gapped, it's still trading right back up. And so until I actually had this candle, a few minutes in on a 5-minute down here, it's like, okay, I'm clearly going lower here. If I get a close, sure, I can. That shows me that confirmation. But I'm already moving that direction. Because at one point this candle was way down here. People were anticipating, oh, it's going to break this low, it's going to go, and bears are hopping on, and then that's where bulls are buying because it bottomed out right there and traded up on this candle almost to the top here, and it's like, well, no, bears are going to push it back down. So there's things going on between bears and bulls all the time. Obviously, it's just you're seeing it in these wicks, you're seeing it in how the candles are moving, and there's a constant imbalance of bulls and bears, and that's why we have these bigger daily candles and how things are moving overall. So take a step back, you can see the last few days here, you had a lot more bearishness here, obviously from that tweet. You had some recovery here. You had a lot more bullish candles just kind of in a row. You see some concentrated buying, and it's generally moving up. That was after an initial sell-off. Today, you had another push down, and into the afternoon, a little more buying. It just seems like we've been doing a lot of that. Selling early, buying late, and this is a little bit of buying late. Selling early, buying, selling early, buying. If we keep doing that, we're going to continue going lower. But right now, we're at a point that this is a really nice accumulation. We've put in a nice bottom. We've put in a nice top. It's sideways. We're right in the middle. I don't want to go directionally here. I want to wait for it to come down here again and buy. I want to wait for it to get up here and roll over, or get in here and consolidate and then go higher and then retest, because that'll be a breakout of this channel. And so I bought down here today. I can say I did that. 1747. I bought at the low. It would have been great for it to move up here. I wouldn't have gotten all of that movement. I only got the 0.5 R, the $50 move that I was looking for that turned into more than an R. So I was good with that. I wasn't anticipating it moving that far, but it would have been really nice to see that continue up, and we haven't seen that happen. From 2 days ago, we were sideways into the close. Yesterday, we were rallying, didn't quite get back up this high, and then today we were a little bit lower on the rally back up. So tomorrow, We're gonna just have to wait and see. I don't know that we're going to get back up to 1775. It'd be nice if we do, but another retest of the 1747 price, that could work too. So, anticipate that it could be sideways. We could chop around like this, chop in a bit of a direction, but wait for a movement. And I really, like I said, I really like today. I really wish that I had gotten in bearish here, because it was a really nice breakdown of the 21 and a retracement into it with an S curve that rolled over. Phenomenal move. That move right there would have been getting in at 945. 945 on the 1700 puts was right about $2. It looks like the next two candles afterward had lows right at 2. So if you weren't filled at 2, this is one that wouldn't have been chasing to move it by like 210 and keep your your stop down at like 250 or something, or 260. I mean, that was below the low. When I saw this bottom coming in here around 170, 172, 173, 178, 173. When I saw this, it's like, I want to buy 175. That's a great place to buy, and could have been buying it too as it rolled over, and then just held on for a move for an R, going from, well, if you're risking 50, an R is up to 250. So, I mean, risk 50 and go up to 350. It did the S curve. You could have been buying again at 3 with a stop down at 250. That continued up, or just look for this to continue further down until it hits one of the pivots that we saw from yesterday. So, this would have been the first move. I would have been looking to take profits here, thinking it's going to go bullish. This is what I talked about. It took out that low. It's going to go. And I probably would have been getting in bullish here, just to be confused, like, oh, we're going lower. I guess I was too early to buy and too early to exit my puts, and then waiting for the right place to go bullish, thinking, oh, it's right here. But it's like, no, we're only a little bit above 1747. This was like a really easy place to see bulls get trapped. This really nice Morningstar reversal here. Any of the bulls that were getting in, you got higher volume. Everything's looking like this is a place to bounce. And then that candle came in. And it's like, okay, we're only a little bit above 1747. Let's get there and then get in. So anyway, I've been going on and on. Had you gotten into puts at like $2, you could have held on to 6 almost, probably 550 or 5. That would have been a move of, from 2 by 150 all the way up to 5. So that would have been 6R, because it moved from here, near a line, rolling over, all the way down to the next support line. Phenomenal setup. Didn't get the great bullish move. Didn't get rewarded for a great bullish move. It was a really nice bullish move, but the options just didn't play out as nicely going bullish as they did going bearish today. So anyway, I hope this helps. I know this is me rambling a bit, talking through how this all was playing out in my head, on the chart, on the 5-minute, looking at this level. I mean, this is where 1747. Is that it? 1747. Going all the way back to June 20th. 1747. I don't even know why it's on here at 1747. Couldn't tell you right now. But I know I've had that line on here. We've interacted with it plenty of times. We've traded bullish through it. We've traded bearish through it. We've pivoted on it. It's been a really clear level, and I think it could still be taken out this week, and we go lower. As much as I don't want that to happen, I mean, this is a really nice stair step here from a gap down, bearish retest gap. This is a miniature double top in here. It's totally possible to go down more. I don't really want it to. I want it to bounce. I want to see a gap up above today and start to go. But we had these two. Sorry, let me zoom in some more. We had this candle right here, bullish gap and go. This candle, bullish gap and go, above a resistance and we still made bearish candles and we still went lower. This one, bullish retest. This one, bullish retest. So many bullish gaps that turned into bearish pullbacks or rollovers or whatever. It just feels like there's still more bearish candles, and you need to wait for more bullish candles to come in before you're going to go bullish. That was what I went through on the 5-minute. I'm seeing the same fractal ideas on the daily. And I don't, like, I see the possibility that we go lower. I don't see really good reasons to go bullish other than we're sitting on this level. And so if we can hold this, we can come back into it and bounce. I'll be buying it on the 5-minute again tomorrow. If I'm watching it, if I see it happen, just the nature of options. I don't like having the options trade just sitting out there. I want to be alerted to it or something. So I'll set up an alert to see 1747 or maybe 1750. Give me some warning by a couple minutes if I even get that much. But we came right into the 5 today here and rolled over. And so we definitely have potential to continue lower. We rested here. We rested here. We rested yesterday and today, technically. We've been in this lower half of this no man's land. We actually stayed lower than we did back here. We were chopping through the middle of this all this time. Now we're in the lower end. And to say we're going to rally from here, I have a little less confidence in that. Unless something really good happens news-wise or whatever, that's going to help catapult everything higher, and Amazon carried with it. Still, there's potential for rollover. But we'll watch on the 5-minute. We'll see how things set up and trade the chart in front of us. Hope this helps. This is Just Amazon. Thanks.